It's an email and a letter that make it pretty clear that a county administrator knew the wood was moldy while it was going up. That water made it all the way to the Hauser house where it turned into huge sheets of ice. The first thing they do when weather like this is expected is hit the pumps to fuel up. It's more than 650 lane miles of streets to clear. That's almost like driving from here to Georgia. A lot of people in this neighborhood saw what happened last night. They say it's something they're not likely to forget. Now, this black t-shirt may not look like much, but it's actually part of a plan students have to speak out. They say they'd still rather work the holiday season. Why? Because every time this door opens, in walks a new customer with a new attitude.
It's huge. It's huge. Cats everywhere. I mean, the monorail, the advertising.
Cat customer Thomas Larson is talking about Caterpillar's presence at Con Expo, the international construction trade show that took Las Vegas, Nevada by storm the first week of March.
Over the cat exhibit, it's bright, the lights are on, and it just professionally put together in a way which makes you very proud and highlights the strength of our brand. It's quite a spectacle.
A spectacle and a huge opportunity for companies like Caterpillar and divisions like Reman Components and Work Tools.
This is probably the greatest concentration of customers we'll ever encounter in North America. There are about 140,000 exhibitors and customers who are here. And there's no better opportunity to sell our machines, sell our product, than an event like this. Every one of the potential construction, major construction customers are here today. All of our competitors are here today, so we get a great chance to benchmark and to understand the competitive landscape, and you get it all for free. It had cost us tens of thousands of dollars for the market intelligence we get out of one day just walking around collecting notes.
Those notes and trade shows like ConExpo are important because they're what keep Caterpillar on the cutting edge and what keeps customers like Larson Trucking and Excavating in California and Bentley Development Company in Pennsylvania calling.
It's the opportunity to ask questions, to see what else is out there.
Just to see what is offered in the future, what could be introduced to our company to make an improvement to cut costs.
So this year, RCWT stepped up its game to make it clear to customers exactly what Caterpillar parts and equipment have to offer. The employees working booths like these came to answer questions and
to demonstrate for our customers why our components and our equipment will help them to be more successful, to reduce owning and operating costs, to improve performance, to reduce fuel usage through efficiency.
And to do it right, Caterpillar did something a little different this year.
This is the first time we've had an actual display focused on supporting our customer with the components that they need to maintain their productivity. They didn't know what we were trying to help them achieve when it comes to their cost or their cash flow needs or their quality needs.
And now
They're really understanding our focus on parts sales. And it's, this booth behind me, I think illustrates that better than anything else.
jackpot, Caterpillar.
I like the idea of parts support and having a special booth for that. I think it's a wonderful idea.
Because there's aftermarket people knocking on the doors all the time. We can cut your costs, we can cut your costs.
A small startup business has a booth here, maybe 12 feet by 12 feet. He's selling Cat reman parts, Cat reman engines. It's what he sells. He built a whole business to do exactly what we ought to be taking care of our customers doing. I saw another one labeled CTP. It might as well be Cat tractor parts because they sell nothing but Caterpillar parts. It's incredible. We've done this great job of seeding the market. There are a lot of people out there that want to harvest our product. And the only way to win in that is to make sure we do it better than they do.
Customers love to be able to actually see inside of the product and see through the demonstrations how it works. Some of them have said intuitively they know CAT's better, but now they can see inside of the actual product and see through the demonstration why it's better.
But even with all this success, there's still work to be done.
We need to continue to look at where the competition is trying to find cracks in our armor.
And there are also people to thank.
Hey, I really want to thank everybody for paying attention to what's going on out here. It's very, very important. You should feel good, and this is a great time for our company.
And just one more thing. According to this customer, there is one great idea we can start working on for the next ConExpo.
Air-conditioned shoes.
For all the walking.
For all the walking.
That would be fabulous. That would be fabulous.
Air-conditioned shoes.
Oh, well, of course I would. As long as what they kind of look like cowboy boots or something.
They may not look like much now, but they're collector's items worth millions, massive time capsules that haven't been touched since they were flown more than 50 years ago. These are Mike Vadboncourt's passion and his business.
I mean, they really are pieces of history.
And Vadboncourt is helping them soar again, one rivet at a time.
I don't think that repair hurt us any there.
Which one?
It's a childhood hobby this 41-year-old has finally given wings, leaving behind steady work to live a dream.
The P-51 is one of the most famous World War II fighters that in some cases have single-handedly helped win the war.
So famous, even Tom Cruise has one in his collection. His was restored by someone else, but only a handful of companies can do this delicate work. Midwest Aero Reconstruction in Danville is one of them.
We've got customers in San Antonio, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, Ohio. We had a customer from Canada.
When Midwest Aero gets these planes, they're in pretty rough condition. But a couple of years later, voila, in better condition than they were originally.
They were made fast so they could get them out on the line and fight. We're rebuilding them to last for a long time, so there's a lot more detail goes into them.
Yeah, this is pretty much a stock authentic cockpit.
Detail this company is known for, has even won awards for. But to these warbird buffs, it's about more than just a trophy.
You know, I step back and look at it, and to be able to do something that really was a hobby and something that we really enjoy, I mean, that's worth an awful lot.
In Danville, Christina Wall, WCIA-3 News at 10.
Vermilion County has one of the biggest meth problems in the state. It's almost as bad in Coles and Effingham counties as well. But local police fear that people don't know just how deadly meth is. Well, tonight in this in-depth report, Life for Meth, a former addict from Effingham County shares her story about how the drug nearly destroyed her life. WCIA-3's Christina Wall talked with her, and Christina, does she agree with police that this is a huge problem in the area?
She does, Dave, and state stats show just a handful of seizures last year, but in reality, police say Effingham is somewhere near 1,000 cases every year, and the real damage is done to people and their families. Now tonight you'll meet Stephanie, a woman who went to the brink of despair and fought her way back.
Aluminum foil is just a typical household item for most of us. But Stephanie still has trouble keeping it in her house. It brings back memories that tear her apart.
I still can look at a roll of foil and be like, you know, I used to tear just a little piece of that off and use that.
For years, Stephanie used foil like this to smoke meth. There was a time when she was willing to give up her son, even her life, for that drug, and it nearly landed her in jail.
First time I tried it, I was 19.
19 and hooked. So she and a boyfriend at the time quit their jobs and started cooking meth in their kitchen.
When you're messed up in that, it's unbelievable what things can happen.
Her house quickly became the place to get high. Dozens of addicts would show up with pills, anhydrous ammonia, starter fluid, all ingredients for the deadly drug.
They were like cockroaches. You just couldn't get rid of them.
High for days, often hallucinating. She'd even scratch off her own skin. It's a feeling Stephanie compares to
putting your foot down on a gas pedal and seeing how long you can rev it up.
It was life in that fast track that prompted her parents to make an incredible decision. They took away her 1-year-old son.
It was the hardest thing Steve and I had ever had to do, was to do that. But we had to think of Halen.
It wasn't just her son. Meth cost Stephanie her home and nearly $90,000 over 3 years.
You could look in her eyes when she was on this and you could just see the demon.
In and out of rehab several times, but it was hard to shake the demon.
There for a while I thought, this is my life, this is what I'm supposed to do for the rest of my life, I'm going to smoke meth.
The turning point came when her ex-boyfriend nearly beat Stephanie to death.
I was like, that's it, I'm done. I want to go to rehab.
It's been 3 years since Stephanie smoked meth. Her life's much different now.
I've had 2 more kids since I've gotten clean, and I've gotten married, and I've had a lot of good things happen to me.
Police say Stephanie's lucky. Her friends and her ex-boyfriend are all in prison.
I thank God every day.
Because she's finally being the mother she's always wanted to be.
She's got her dream.
Now, Stephanie went to rehab before her and her friends were charged, so the state's attorney gave her a second chance, and she's using it to tell her story and save others from what could be a terrible fate. Now, tune in tomorrow for part 2 of my series to find out how people like Stephanie are banding together to fight meth in their hometown. Dave?
And she's succeeding. Of course, we wish her all the best. Thanks very much, Christina. In our good news tonight, a father sees his own home destroyed, but it's the day he's been waiting for months.
Workers started tearing down Ed Danner's home in Melvin this morning. He says it's a fresh start for him and his daughter Lily. We told you how Lily's mom lost her battle with cancer last September. Now he's struggling to make a new life. We first told you back in December about a woman's mission to make that happen. WCIA-3's Christina Wall is here now, and Christina, it's getting closer to reality.
It is, Jennifer. They started work on a new home for Danner and 2-year-old Lily today, and they plan to have it done in just 30 days. Now, nearly 40 companies donated their time and materials to build this 2-story dream home, and this incredible journey started with just one dedicated woman and a Christmas wish that caught on quick.
This story begins in a bathtub.
Ready? Let's take that.
That inspired nurse Diane Ortel to bring a better life to a nearby family.
And the precious look on her face when she first saw those bubbles, it was almost like the Grinch Who Stole Christmas when the heart is in that little square metal and it just poing.
So Ortel vowed to find little Lily a bathtub. It was a mission that meant a lot to her because she took care of Lily's mom.
We fell in love with Miss Lily. She's just a perfect miracle. She went through so much. She was inside her mommy where mom had chemotherapy.
It soon became bigger than a bathtub. 37 local companies are now devoting their time to turn this old house in Melvin into this.
I decided, I could do something right here.
Their plans for a home straight from the heart, complete with a playroom for Lily and 3 bedrooms instead of 1.
I still can't believe it's happening, even though I watched them tear the house down.
It's like God connects all the resources together, and before you know it, you have a project on board, and it just takes somebody saying, yes, I'm willing to help you. And it's just been amazing.
Each of these bricks signify a fresh start for Danner, where no detail is overlooked. In just 30 days, a brand new house will sit right here. But they are keeping one part of Christina alive. These are flower bulbs she planted before she passed away.
It's really important to me that we preserve these lilies.
That's because this little miracle is named after those flowers.
They'll grow in rock, water, just nothing. They just seem to thrive, and it's just a fitting name for Lily here, considering everything that she's already went through.
The landscaping's the finishing touch, a tribute to the woman they lost.
I know she's happy in heaven, but I thought, God, I know she has to be a little bit happier today.
She'll know the story and all about her mom, and we're just doing the best for her. How many people love her? I think she's touched about everybody's life that's ever met her. I could put it on a piece of paper.
Now, as we said, the home's going up in just 30 days. They broke ground today because it's Danner's 29th birthday. He says this home, this effort, is the best birthday present he's ever had. Jennifer.
And really a present for everyone involved. All right, thank you so much, Christina.
Meet DC Fire, Washington's newest rugby team. These players all have something in common, and it's not their ability to kick or tackle. It's their determination.
Just because I'm in a wheelchair does not mean I can't be successful and do things in life.
Those words have become Joe Tezak's and this team's mantra.
The misconception, people think that, quadriplegics are pretty much have nothing at all. I'm a pretty independent person. I mean, there's a lot of things that, I can do on my own. I'm living on my own, I'm driving, work.
Most people, when they first meet me, they're like, oh, you're a paraplegic. And I go, no, technically I'm a quadriplegic. Because you are quadriplegic does not mean you can't move at all.
This game certainly proves that point. From a distance, it appears to be a free-for-all, to kill the man with the ball. There's only one way to stop your opponent.
I mean, I've seen some broken fingers, a smashed hand. First time some of my buddies came out and saw it, they were like, are you guys even playing a sport? It looks more like demolition derby. They're like, you broke your neck once. Are you trying to break your neck twice? We literally strap ourselves into the chairs for that reason. However, it's on a routine basis that you and your chair will go over.
The game was created as the quadriplegic equivalent to wheelchair basketball. It was introduced in the United States in 1981. Originally, it was dubbed murder ball. But there are only 2 things this game has in common with the sport it's now named after.
A contact and there's a ball. That's about it.
Although each play is filled with passion and intense wheelchair duels, the heart of the game is off the court. For these players, quadriplegic rugby is a form of therapy.
You need to be around people of the same injury that you have, and I think it helps build their confidence.
Mentally, it's good for me to feel like I'm still athletic.
And while these players say they aren't quite up to the Paralympic level, they are certainly ready for the challenge ahead.
I'm coming in with a serious attitude, and I want to try to give my all and get in some games and go out there and win.
All of us are trying to work through this process and make the best out of a bad situation and go on with life.
Something that's become much easier since this team got together.
Fire!